Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes were once Hollywood's golden couple, dazzling on red carpets and captivating fans, especially after the birth of their daughter, Suri. But after their sudden split, everything changed. Most of all, for Suri. For years, speculation swirled around Tom's distant relationship with his daughter, with many believing his deep ties to Scientology kept them apart. Now, at 18, Suri has made a move so bold, it has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, including her own father. Have Tom and Suri really gone over a decade without seeing each other? And what exactly did Suri do that has everyone talking? Let's break it all down. Tom and Katie love, control, and Scientology. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' relationship had all the makings of a Hollywood fairy tale, until the reality behind the scenes unraveled. At the height of her Dawson's Creek fame, Katie, who had once gushed about her childhood crush on Cruise in a 17 magazine interview, found herself stepping into his world. Fresh off her broken engagement to Chris Klein, she and Cruise ignited a whirlwind romance that had the media in a frenzy. But dating Tom wasn't just about red carpets and grand gestures. It also meant stepping into the world of Scientology, something Katie had never experienced before. Long before Katie, Cruise's love life had been marked by relationships that never quite lasted, with insiders suggesting that his unwavering devotion to Scientology played a major role. The church, deeply intertwined with his personal and professional life, was even rumored to have helped him audition potential partners. According to former Scientologists, the organization scouted women who might be compatible with both Cruise and its strict beliefs. Vanity Fair reported that actresses like Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson were allegedly approached, though Johansson fiercely denied the claim, calling it demeaning and the product of a man's imagination. Still, Cruise's past marriages, to Nicole Kidman and Mimi Rogers, were reportedly strained by the church's influence, with sources saying Kidman's unwillingness to fully embrace Scientology was a deal-breaker. By the time Katie entered the picture, it was clear that being with Tom also meant accepting the church's role in his life. In fact, actress Nazanin Boniadi was reportedly put through an intense vetting process to become Cruise's partner, complete with strict monitoring and bizarre restrictions, though that relationship never took off. For Katie, however, this was just the beginning of life inside Tom's world, a world where love came with conditions few could have predicted. Before we dive in, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's break down this Hollywood drama together. Tom's couch, jumping chaos. In 2005, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' romance hit a fever pitch when Cruise made television history, though not in the way anyone expected. During his appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show, Cruise's enthusiasm for Holmes exploded into what is now known as the infamous couch jumping incident. Overcome with excitement, he didn't just declare his love, he practically launched himself onto Oprah's couch, pumping his fists and grinning like a man possessed. Oprah, caught somewhere between amusement and mild alarm, watched as Cruise continued his over-the-top display, making it clear to the world that he was deeply, madly, uncontrollably in love. Then, as if the moment wasn't dramatic enough, he ran backstage and brought Holmes out in front of the audience. With a shy smile, she hugged him, completing what would become one of the most bizarre yet unforgettable moments in talk show history. While some fans adored the raw passion, others found it unsettling, even cringeworthy. Hollywood was divided. Was this true love, or just too much? Even Paramount Studios, the force behind Cruise's upcoming blockbuster War of the Worlds, wasn't thrilled. The studio had hoped for press about the film, but instead, all anyone could talk about was Cruise's off-the-charts energy. It was an early sign that this high-profile relationship might be far more complicated than it appeared. a silent birth and unusual proposal. Tom Cruise's love story with Katie Holmes was anything but conventional, and his proposal in 2005 was no exception. Instead of the classic down-on-one-knee moment, Cruise popped the question at the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, presenting Holmes with a stunning 5-carat yellow diamond ring. The extravagant gesture sent the media into a frenzy, and just months later, the couple announced they were expecting their first child. Cruise's hands-on approach to Holmes's pregnancy quickly raised eyebrows. In an interview, he admitted to purchasing a sonogram machine so he could personally track their baby's development at home. While he promised to donate the machine to a hospital afterward, medical professionals were alarmed. Sonograms, they warned, should only be performed by trained experts. But that wasn't the only unusual aspect of Suri Cruise's arrival. On April 18, 2006, Holmes gave birth under total silence, following a controversial Scientology practice. According to the church's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, any noise during childbirth could negatively impact the baby and mother. While Holmes reportedly agreed to this, many questioned whether she truly embraced the belief or simply complied with Cruise's world. As time passed, the weight of his religious expectations seemed to take a toll on their relationship. Despite their seemingly picture-perfect romance, rumors of tension continued to build, setting the stage for a shocking, high-profile breakup. And speaking of tension, Katie's parents weren't exactly thrilled about their daughter's whirlwind romance from the very beginning. Family concerns and a rocky start. From the beginning, Katie Holmes's parents had serious reservations about her whirlwind romance with Tom Cruise, particularly his deep ties to Scientology. As devout Catholics, they weren't just concerned about their daughter's new relationship, they feared her entire lifestyle was shifting in ways they couldn't support. The tension grew even stronger as the couple's lavish 2006 wedding in Italy approached, with rumors swirling that her parents might not even attend. Their biggest worry? The overwhelming influence of Scientology. They weren't comfortable with Katie trading her Catholic roots for Cruise's beliefs, especially given the church's controversial reputation. But despite their concerns, they ultimately chose to stand by their daughter. At the rehearsal dinner, Katie's father, Marty Holmes, delivered an emotional speech, expressing both his love for Katie and his respect for Tom, an effort to keep the peace, even if their worries hadn't disappeared. For one brief moment, it seemed like they were willing to put aside their doubts and give the couple their blessing. But if their wedding was meant to symbolize unity, what happened next only added fuel to the fire. And speaking of their wedding, did you know it was a wedding filled with red flags? Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes's wedding was nothing short of a spectacle. An extravagant $3.5 million affair held in a historic Italian castle, complete with Hollywood royalty and opulent luxury. But beneath the glamour, subtle signs suggested that their relationship was far more complex than it seemed. One of the first red flags? Katie kept guests waiting an unusually long time before walking down the aisle. Actress Leah Remini, a guest and a Scientologist at the time, later described the delay as feeling like an eternity. Meanwhile, Tom stood at the front, smiling patiently as if nothing was amiss. Adding to the Hollywood intrigue, Cruise had reportedly asked Remini to bring Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony to the wedding, a move that blurred the lines between personal connections and star-studded networking. But it wasn't just the guest list that raised eyebrows. The Scientology-influenced ceremony featured unique customs, including some truly bizarre vows. At one point, Cruise reportedly told Holmes, "Girls need clothes and food, tender happiness and frills, a pan, a comb, a cat," as part of his promises. The wording left many guests puzzled, as it didn't exactly scream romantic devotion. Despite the oddities, the wedding itself was undeniably lavish. Katie wore 2 custom Giorgio Armani gowns, with Armani even designing a matching dress for baby Suri. Guests described the night as magical, with Remini later recalling it was so beyond what your mind could compute. For Katie, it seemed like the fairy tale wedding she had once dreamed of, but behind the grandeur, this was only the beginning of a marriage that would soon reveal its complications. Signs of control and isolation. At the start of their marriage, Katie Holmes appeared happy, but as time passed, those close to her began noticing unsettling changes. She became more reserved, and at times, some even described her as robotic. Life with Tom Cruise wasn't just about love. It came with constant oversight, especially due to his deep ties to Scientology. Katie wasn't just expected to support her husband's faith, she was expected to live by its rules. Tom's handlers were ever present, even in their own home, and Katie was frequently accompanied by people assigned to monitor her activities. Journalist Maureen Orth, who dined with the couple in 2010, noted how fans constantly interrupted them, but it was Katie's response that raised red flags. When Orth commented on the difficulty of their public life, Holmes simply replied, "Oh, we don't go outside very much." Over time, her isolation only deepened. Katie distanced herself from friends, family, and the life she had before Cruise. Deb Baer, a journalist who had once interviewed a young, starry-eyed Katie for 17 magazine, later remarked on the stark transformation in her demeanor. Her public appearances became mechanical, and she endlessly repeated the same scripted praise for Cruise, calling him amazing for the $400 the time. Even Jenna Miscavige Hill, niece of Scientology leader David Miscavige, took notice. Having grown up in the church herself, Hill understood the pressures Katie likely faced. She had experienced both mental and physical abuse within Scientology and publicly voiced her support for Holmes. And then, after 5 years of marriage, Katie made a bold decision, one that no one saw coming. A shocking split that took everyone by surprise. In June 2012, Katie Holmes stunned Hollywood when she filed for divorce from Tom Cruise, a move that reportedly blindsided him. Cruise later admitted he never saw it coming, and the timing made it even more painful. The news broke just days before his 52nd birthday, leaving him to reflect on the sudden upheaval. In an interview, he admitted, "To be 50, and then it hits you. This is it. What life can do to you." While he tried to maintain a sense of humor about the situation, there was no denying the split was devastating. At first, both Tom and Katie continued to wear their wedding rings, but it quickly became clear that the decision was final. For Cruise, his 2 older children from his previous marriage to Nicole Kidman, Connor and Isabella, stood by his side, providing him support as he navigated the sudden change. His spokesperson confirmed his deep sadness, asking for privacy as he focused on his children. For Katie, however, the priority was Suri. Her legal team made it clear that her primary focus had always been her daughter's well-being. In the days following the bombshell announcement, Katie was spotted in New York City looking noticeably different, lighter, freer, almost as if she had stepped out of a long shadow. Friends and fans alike saw a new energy in her, as if years of control had finally lifted. The world of Tom Cruise and Scientology was now behind her, and Katie Holmes was ready for a fresh start, with Suri by her side. If you think Tom and Katie will eventually reconnect, drop a 1 kid in the comments. If you think the distance is permanent, drop a 0. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Why Scientology played a role in their breakup. When Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise announced their shock divorce, speculation immediately swirled around Scientology's role in the split. Many wondered if Cruise's unwavering dedication to the church had become too much for Holmes. During a legal deposition, Cruise was directly asked if Holmes left him to protect their daughter Suri from Scientology, a question that clearly struck a nerve. He found it offensive, insisting that no one needed protection from his religion. But despite his objections, he ultimately admitted that Holmes had indeed cited it as one of her reasons for leaving. One crucial revelation: Suri was not practicing Scientology, something Cruise reluctantly confirmed. This detail led many to believe that Holmes had orchestrated her exit to ensure her daughter wouldn't be pulled into the church. Jenna Miscavige Hill, niece of Scientology leader David Miscavige and a former Scientologist herself, publicly supported Holmes's decision. Having grown up within the church, Hill understood the mental and emotional toll it could take and recognized why Katie would want to protect her daughter. Holmes made her intentions even clearer when she demanded sole custody of Suri, a legal move that signaled her desire to control her daughter's upbringing, particularly regarding religion. With full custody, she could make key decisions without interference and, most importantly, keep Suri out of Scientology's reach. Financial settlements and custody agreements. Katie Holmes didn't just file for divorce, she strategically prepared for it with serious legal firepower on her side. Her father, Marty Holmes, an experienced attorney, had been planning for this possibility long before her marriage to Tom Cruise. In fact, he negotiated an ironclad prenuptial agreement that was so detailed, it reportedly filled 5 bankers' boxes with paperwork. That legal foresight paid off. When Katie filed for divorce, she managed to finalize everything in just 11 days. Despite Cruise's estimated $600 million fortune, Holmes did not walk away with a massive settlement. Instead, she secured $400,000 per year in child support for Suri, totaling approximately $4.8 million until Suri turned 18. While modest compared to Cruise's wealth, he also agreed to cover all additional expenses for his daughter, including medical and educational costs. But the financial arrangement wasn't just about money, it was about control. Many speculated that Holmes accepted less in exchange for full custody, ensuring that she could make decisions about Suri's upbringing without interference. By limiting Cruise's influence, she may have also been keeping Scientology out of Suri's life, securing the freedom she fought so hard to regain. Katie's new life post-divorce. After her high-profile split from Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes wasted no time starting fresh. She and Suri relocated to New York City, where friends immediately noticed a dramatic transformation in her. No longer living under the constraints of her former marriage, Katie embraced the city's culture, creativity, and independence. In an interview with InStyle, she spoke about her newfound freedom, saying, "It's sort of like just put your stuff out there and be yourself." Free from Scientology's influence and the pressures of being Mrs. Tom Cruise, she was finally rediscovering herself. But Holmes's fresh start came with one surprising condition. Her divorce agreement reportedly barred her from publicly dating anyone for 5 years. This unusual clause also prevented her from introducing any new partners to Suri, forcing her to keep her love life under wraps. Despite these restrictions, Holmes quietly dated actor Jamie Foxx from 2013 until 2019. Their relationship remained intensely private, but insiders say it helped Katie reclaim her independence and break away from the strict rules that once defined her life. Reflecting on her journey, Holmes later shared, "I don't have a lot of rules for myself, and I don't take myself that seriously." With a newfound balance between work, personal life, and motherhood, Katie Holmes was no longer just Tom Cruise's ex. She was a woman fully in charge of her own story. Tom Cruise's connections with his children today. Tom Cruise's relationship with his children has remained complicated, shaped by both Scientology and Hollywood fame. With his ex-wife, Nicole Kidman, he adopted 2 children, Connor and Isabella, both of whom have stayed involved in Scientology, which has seemingly helped them maintain a bond with their father. Isabella, known as Bella, pursued a career as an artist and has largely stayed out of the spotlight. A devoted Scientologist, she has remained close to the church, a factor that likely kept her on good terms with Cruise. When she married in London, neither Tom nor Nicole attended the wedding, but Bella dismissed rumors of estrangement, telling the Daily Mail, "Of course we talk. They're my parents." Connor, on the other hand, has dabbled in the entertainment industry with a few film roles and a career as a DJ. Like Bella, he keeps his personal life private and rarely shares details about his relationship with his parents. However, in 2019, he and Cruise were spotted together in London, bonding over a private helicopter ride, a shared interest, as Cruise is an experienced pilot who mastered the skill while filming Mission Impossible. But when it comes to his daughter Suri, things are vastly different. Cruise and Suri have reportedly not been seen together in public since 2012, and their current relationship remains a mystery. According to Hollywood Life, Cruise still loves Suri deeply and hopes to reconnect someday, but the distance between them appears significant. Many speculate that Scientology's strict beliefs, which discourage contact with those who leave the church, have played a major role in their estrangement. The real question now is, has Tom reached out to Suri after she turned 18, or has their relationship only grown more distant? A new chapter for Suri. The big day finally arrived. Suri Cruise turned 18 on April 18th, officially stepping into adulthood. For years, Katie Holmes and Suri have lived a low-profile life, staying far removed from Tom Cruise, who reportedly hasn't seen his daughter in over a decade. Since gaining full custody in their 2012 divorce, Katie has been Suri's primary parent, raising her away from the influence of Scientology. One major change? Tom's financial obligations have officially ended. As part of the divorce settlement, Cruise had been paying $400,000 per year in child support, a deal that expired once Suri turned 18. However, as one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, Cruise may still choose to cover additional expenses, such as health insurance or college tuition. Rumors surfaced that Katie was worried about the financial shift, but her attorney, Jonathan Wolfe, shut down the speculation, calling the reports false and insisting that Katie's finances remain secure. It's clear that Holmes has long been prepared for this new chapter, but the real question now is, what's next for Suri Cruise? Suri's next chapter following her passions. As Suri Cruise prepared for college, she and Katie Holmes grew closer than ever. While Suri has spent most of her life avoiding the spotlight, she has fully embraced her creative side, a passion she clearly shares with her famous parents. Holmes, now a director, has included Suri in her projects, giving her daughter opportunities to explore her talents. Suri's voice was featured in Holmes's films, singing a cover of Blue Moon in Alone Together 2022, and recently lending her vocals to Rare Objects 2023. The experience deepened their bond, with Katie expressing how much she valued Suri's input. "I hope she always does something on my films," she told Glamour, adding that involving her daughter in her work felt completely natural. For Holmes, this collaboration wasn't just about art, it was about family. She described Suri's involvement as creating a safe, beautiful, creative space for them both. "It was very meaningful to me to have her there because she's my heart," Katie shared, emphasizing the deep love and connection she feels for her daughter. Now stepping into adulthood, Suri has made her mother proud, balancing her passions with a strong sense of independence. As she forges her own path, she carries forward both her parents' influence and the quiet strength she and Katie have cultivated together. But while their close bond has always been a topic of interest, something new about Suri has recently made headlines, and it's left many completely surprised. Tom Cruise's absence at Suri's graduation. When Suri Cruise graduated from high school in June, she marked the milestone surrounded by family and friends in New York City. But one notable figure was missing, her father, Tom Cruise. His absence immediately sparked questions online, with many wondering why the Mission Impossible star skipped his daughter's big day. While Suri was celebrating her transition into adulthood, Tom was seen at the VIP tent of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, reportedly laughing and mingling with celebrities like Hugh Grant, Ashton Kutcher, and Mila Kunis. For many, the contrast was stark, a high-profile public appearance at a concert, while missing one of his daughter's most important moments. Rumors about Tom's distant relationship with Suri have swirled for years, especially as she grew up largely outside of his world. Under the custody agreement granted to Katie Holmes, Tom reportedly had little involvement in Suri's upbringing after their 2012 divorce. And now, at 18, Suri has made a major decision that speaks volumes about her identity. Suri drops Cruz from her name. In a bold move, Suri has chosen to drop Cruz's from her last name, now going by Suri Noel, taking her mother's middle name instead. Many see this as a symbolic gesture of her loyalty to Katie, distancing herself from her father's legacy. According to Page 6, a source revealed that Suri wanted her own identity and feels proud to carry a name that reflects her connection to her mother. If you're still watching, you're a real one. Drop a 2 in the comments to let me know you're here for all the juicy details. Suri's unbreakable bond with Katie. Over the years, Suri Cruz and Katie Holmes have formed an inseparable mother-daughter bond, one that has only grown stronger since Katie took full responsibility for raising Suri after her split from Tom Cruise. Unlike many Hollywood families, the two have chosen a quiet, private life, far from the public eye. Like her mother, Suri prefers to stay out of the spotlight, focusing on her personal passions rather than celebrity status. According to Us Weekly, Katie and Suri are more in sync than ever, with insiders describing their relationship as a real team. One source even called their bond a beautiful thing to witness, highlighting the deep connection they share. This closeness is evident in many aspects of their lives. Suri actively supports Katie's creative projects, and in return, Katie remains deeply involved in her daughter's life. In recent years, Suri showcased her singing talents in Holmes films, lending her voice to Alone Together, 2022, and Rare Objects, 2023. Despite the challenges they've faced, Katie has built a life for Suri filled with warmth, stability, and love, a reflection of her deep pride as a mother. Now, as Suri embarks on her next chapter at Carnegie Mellon University in Pennsylvania, she seems more than ready for the independence and new opportunities that college life will bring. Life as a college freshman. Suri Cruz officially revealed her college choice on her high school's decision day in June, proudly sporting a Carnegie Mellon University sweatshirt, a moment that quickly gained attention on social media. By August, it was time for the big move, and Katie Holmes was right by her side, helping her settle into her new dorm in Pittsburgh. Photos captured Katie carrying boxes and suitcases, making sure her daughter had everything she needed for this exciting new chapter. After an emotional goodbye, Katie returned to New York, adjusting to life as an empty nester, while Suri embraced her college experience. But despite the distance, their close bond remains unshaken. Recently, Suri made a quick trip back to New York City, not just for a weekend visit, but to support her mom's Broadway debut in our town. While in the city, she was spotted with her beloved cat Eleanor, enjoying familiar sights and spending time in her old home. Meanwhile, Katie expressed gratitude for her family's support during her show's opening, sharing backstage photos with her parents and sisters. While it's unclear if Suri attended one of the performances, her visit marked yet another heartfelt reunion with her mother, proving that their bond remains as strong as ever. Now, as Suri embarks on this new journey, she is stepping out of the shadows and carving her own path, and Katie couldn't be prouder. Katie and Suri step out in style, Katie Holmes and Suri Cruise are proving that effortless style runs in the family. Recently, the mother-daughter duo was spotted in New York City, showcasing their signature chic yet casual fashion as they braved the crisp fall weather. Currently a freshman at Carnegie Mellon University, Suri returned to NYC looking comfortable yet trendy in navy pants, a puffy shearling-lined denim jacket, and stylish boots, a perfect fall ensemble. Meanwhile, Katie kept it classic, rocking a long camel coat over a gray sweatsuit, paired with a tote bag and sunglasses for a laid-back yet polished look. It seems like Suri has inherited her mom's love for fall layering, as the two have been spotted in similarly stylish pairings on previous outings. In a recent Glamour interview, Katie expressed pride in Suri's independent spirit, calling her an incredible person and emphasizing how grateful she is to have protected her daughter from the intense spotlight that surrounded her early years. Tom Cruise's high-stakes projects, On Earth and Beyond. While Tom Cruise was absent from Suri's graduation and college move, he has been fully immersed in his high-octane Hollywood career. Currently, he's filming Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2, which is slated for release on May 21, 2025. But his most ambitious project yet? Shooting a movie in space. Cruise is collaborating with NASA and Elon Musk's SpaceX to become one of the first civilians to perform a spacewalk for a film. Directed by Doug Liman, the movie will reportedly take Cruise to the International Space Station, pushing the boundaries of filmmaking like never before. He's hinted that the project is in active development, making fans eager to see if he can pull off the ultimate stunt, filming in zero gravity. Will Tom and Suri ever reconnect? With Tom diving into groundbreaking projects and Suri thriving in New York, fans can't help but wonder, will this father-daughter relationship ever mend, or will they continue living separate lives?